So, this Black Twitter documentary, can we talk about it? So, this week, a 30-second trailer to a documentary about Black Twitter dropped, and as you can guess, people had a whole bunch of opinions about it. It's basically a 3-part series, 1 hour for each part, that's going to air on Hulu in May, and it's directed by Prentice Penny. Prentice is, or was, the showrunner for Insecure. He wrote on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he wrote on Girlfriends. Prentice is the truth. But for some reason, people don't trust him to make this documentary, and the amount of conclusions people have jumped to from 30 seconds is insane. The complaints range from, oh, why y'all include these people? Well, you didn't include this. I didn't see this, and that. Who asked for this? How is this even supposed to be a documentary? Y'all need to gatekeep the culture. White folks be copying off of us. All of that. And we're going to get into it. So in the trailer, there's this list of names, and it's of course stylized like Twitter accounts. So it's the Twitter accounts of all of these people like Jemele Hill, Amanda Seales, Lovey, Kid Fury, all of these people who we know. And of course, as internet personalities, all of those people have people that do not like them on Black Twitter. But that aside, one of the things people brought up was the fact that Black Twitter is made up of everyday people. Why are all these celebrities here? Now, never mind the fact that this is not a comprehensive list. It's a 30-second trailer, and it was just like a fast scroll of all these names. You don't know who's going to be in a documentary. And a couple of days ago, Prentice actually did an interview in The Hollywood Reporter where he goes really in depth about his intentions, his inspiration, the direction of the series, all of that. And he even name drops some people who are not celebrities who have contributed greatly to Black Twitter, who you might presume are at least mentioned, if not directly involved as subjects. So besides the fact that I literally cannot stress enough that after 30 seconds, y'all do not know anything about what's going on in this 3-hour series, there's other stuff to get into. Now, full disclaimer, I actually have a great interest in documentary, and I started studying it seriously this year. And so when I heard there was going to be a documentary about Black Twitter, all the possibilities of the directions that this could go starts to come up in my head. But again, that's because I'm interested in this stuff and I think critically about it. But the notion that nobody asked for this and that it's absurd that there would be a documentary about Black Twitter really speaks to how we undervalue our own stuff sometimes. Because when you really stop to think about it, Black Twitter has had some huge cultural moments. Not just pop culture, although I do think that documenting pop culture is also very important. But I'm also talking organizing and activism on Twitter. Twitter was used a lot during the Ferguson protests. It originated the Oscars So White hashtag. And I see the making of this documentary as sort of an attempt to synthesize all of those ideas into a narrative, right? Because it can be difficult for some people to imagine something as abstract as Black Twitter, which is not necessarily a tangible thing or place, as the subject of a documentary. But that shit is right up my alley. I love social and cultural documentaries that explore an idea, a phenomenon, something like that that's just less straightforward than a profile on a person or whatever. So like I said, I saw a lot of potential in it. And I think those cultural moments deserve to be documented. And that brings us to the point about gatekeeping our culture. And trust me, I get it. I get it. I'm literally the last person on earth to give out a cookout invite. I don't believe there is a single non-Black person that deserves an honorary cookout invite. I just don't. Because the ones that y'all think do will understand that some spaces are just not for them. Now, that being said, there have been so many attempts to erase Black history from the face of the earth that it's become clear to a lot of us that we need to be the ones to document and tell these stories. I mean, you could literally turn on the news today and see them trying to ban books and Black history courses and all that. Y'all don't have to take my word for it. Black people have contributed so much to popular culture, and the notion that we should not document that on a huge public platform simply because white people might also see it, I feel like is a disservice to us. Because if your fear is that they're going to steal our stuff and appropriate our culture, they was doing that anyway. I'm sorry, I love learning about Black history, love learning about Black culture, our differences within the diaspora, even just in America alone, our regional differences are so fascinating. I'm not about to let white people ruin that for me. I cannot be bothered wondering what they're doing. Because the fact of the matter is, if you are truly a part of the culture, if you are engrossed in it, like many of us are, you cannot fake that. It's the same reason why you can tell when you hear a white person using AAVE that they don't really talk like that, because they're doing it wrong. Listen, people have infiltrated, but they always get caught. Rachel Dolezal had us for a minute, but she got caught. And I think that the documentary is more about the tangible effects that Black Twitter has had on just life and the communal moments that we've had through it. And I think that Black people on Twitter make Black Twitter. So identifying the origin of certain hashtags or cultural moments, I don't know, it might let them in on an inside joke or two, but what is that really gonna do? I mean, you gotta know who to follow, who to interact with. Like, that's kind of just part of it. I understand the urge to gatekeep. I really, really do. And I'm usually 10 toes down in favor of it. But you also got to think about the fact that the Black community contains multitudes. I was just explaining to my grandma what Black Twitter was. Y'all think she don't deserve to learn about it? There are so many different corners of the internet, and there are even more corners of life. And not even every Black person has gotten to experience Black Twitter. But I think the series has the potential to do a lot of good. And I trust Prentice with it. So I'm very excited. I will be watching. And of course, I will let y'all know what I think.